Hey there friends, it's Kate and welcome back to my channel, Golden State Educate. So today's video, I'm bringing you yet another weekly vlog. I feel like weekly vlogs are the best for me, and it also seems like a lot of you are really enjoying them as well. I got a lot of feedback on my last vlog about some things that all of you would like to see throughout the week. So now I know really what to include this week, and I'm hoping that it's a really good, really informative vlog for all of you. So if you haven't already, please make sure to hit the red button and subscribe to my channel. Like this video if you like it, and leave me a comment down below so I can interact with you all there. So jumping in, today is Monday. So happy Monday, yet another Monday. This is our 8th week of distance learning. I can't even believe it. We've been doing distance learning in my kindergarten class for 2 full months. And let me tell you, it does feel like 2 months. I am so tired, but I also feel like now that we really have our mojo, we're really moving and grooving. I'm looking forward to going through the rest of the year and learning more and teaching more and just getting to know my students more. So I decided to change my weekly slides. They've been the same for about 2 months. I really liked the colored pencils. I thought they were cute, but it was just getting a little bit tired and a little bit boring. So I have a bunch of new things coming in this vlog, a bunch of changes, and just a bunch of things that I have decided to do. I really took this weekend to relax. And then on Sunday, I hit it hard with like planning, prepping, doing a bunch of things. And I'm super stoked to show them to my kids and do them this week. And I'm just looking forward to a strong week. So there's a lot of times where I feel like, teachers should be able to do whatever they want on the weekends. We need to break. But there also is so much goodness that happens from like me having a Saturday break and then hitting it hard with new ideas, fresh ideas on Sunday. So feeling good about this week. I'll show you today and then we'll get started. So like I said, I changed my morning slides and I am so excited to show my kids. I feel like a lot of them are gonna be like so surprised and so confused, but I hope they like them. So hello kindergarten, good morning. Our morning greeting, we were choosing a different morning greeting, and I think this is the way that we're gonna do it now. So you either have high five, let's roar, or you can make up whatever one you want. So that will be good, and that's pretty much just gonna stay the same from now on. This is how it's going to be. And then they get their dojo points. We talk about how to get dojo points. And then we have our calendar. And this is new. If you buy this bundle on Teachers Pay Teachers, I will link it down below. It is not mine, but I absolutely love it. So if you buy this bundle, you get all the months and you also get this cool days in school. And then you also have days of the week and weather. So it's a great bundle. And we hadn't been doing the days in school, and I realized that if we were here in person, we would definitely be doing this. So 36 days in, but we're going to start doing it now. So this was really great. Then we have our days of the week. We have our weather, and then we jump straight into our new sight word, which is, and they did a page on Seesaw. We'll take a break, and then we're jumping into our reading groups. So if you didn't see my vlog from last week, I talked a little bit more about my groups. I break my kids up into 4 groups: cherries, pineapples, kiwis, and grapes. They have the kids' names on it though, so I can't show you. Basically, we have 2 rotations. We have round 1 and we have round 2. And it's divided by this line. So the kids are sent this document, I send it to them, and then they know exactly what to do. So they're either doing a group with me or on iReady, and then my higher groups are either doing iReady reading or this activity on Seesaw. The activity on Seesaw is right here. I got this from Mrs. Call's Campers. She has a great bundle of a bunch of different resources for word work. So we have done several sight words, all of which we've practiced over the weeks, but we have not reviewed them. So I'm giving them like this mini spelling to work on. They have 4 sight words and they're going to do the rainbow writing. So this is what it will look like. I just did like a brief example so they would know what to do. And then we goes right down here. So that is what my kiwis and my grapes did. For my cherries, we just did this letter review like we always do, and then we're still working on our handwriting and individual letter sounds. So today we focused on the letter C. My pineapples are reading at about a level A, so we did a compare and contrast of what we see in the fall and what we see in the spring. this was perfect for them because, you know, we were able to do a book walk of all the pictures. And then we talked about what we saw, and then because they know the word see, it was really good. So they're able to see leaves in the spring, see leaves in the fall. It's just very repetitive and perfect for my really early readers. So that was great. They all did a really good job with that. And then, like I said, my higher group did that seesaw activity. And that was the end of our ELA time. I'm still kind of working through ELA with them. I think I need to go back to doing it the way I was doing it before. I really just need to talk to my principal and see if that's okay. We're technically not supposed to be putting kids in breakout rooms, but my argument is that I'm still able to supervise them both ways if I have 2 screens. So it's kind of a lot of work, but it's a lot more work when kids like leave and I can't get them back. I had one kid leave and she didn't come back for like an hour and a half. I'm pretty sure she came back like during lunch, and she had left at like 9:40. So that's not really gonna work. But yeah, that went decently well. We're still working on it. We're still working through it. They're 5, and they still don't really know how to use technology. They're obviously so much better than they were in the beginning, but we're still working on it. We jumped into recess and then math, and then I introduced our math small groups. So again, they're broken up by level and by color: tomatoes, broccolis, and eggplants. And then I was hoping that we could do math in 3 rotations. So my lowest kids will do I Ready Reading and then see me and then take a break. My middle level kids will see me so I can teach the lesson. Then they'll do the book by themselves and then they'll go to I Ready. And my higher kids will do an activity on Seesaw. Then they'll do the book by themselves, do I Ready if they finish, and then they'll see me for like a higher level thinking and like a check of their work. So my idea for the Seesaw was to start doing boom cards. If you aren't already doing boom cards, I would highly suggest looking into them. My coworker and our team lead told me about it, and I was kind of thinking, you know, I don't want to do that. It just seems like yet another thing to introduce to them. But I thought it would actually be really beneficial. It's really fun, super interactive, and you can link it to Seesaw. So today we did the heavy lifting. I got them all signed into their accounts. We did all of that. So now when I assign it on Seesaw, we have no problems. They can just do it that way. Boom cards are really nice because it is like self-correcting. So it tells them if they got it wrong, they can go back and fix it. And then it does give you a report of how they did. So on my end, it's really nice to see how they're managing. And I just really like boom cards. They seem fun and interactive. And my kids seem to be doing really well with things that like are like games, but still learning. So learning games. So yeah, today was the first day that we did it and it went really well. So I was planning on doing groups like this, but then I realized, you know, trying to get some kids on boom cards at different times was just going to be a hot mess that I didn't feel like dealing with. So instead we ended up doing it all together. We all got onto boom cards, all did our boom card, and then I still taught math in whole group like I usually do. But now that they know how to do boom cards on Seesaw, they know how to do I Ready Reading, there should be no problem because those are the rotations. They're either doing a boom card on Seesaw, they're doing I Ready Reading, or they're with me. So they officially know how to do everything. They are in kindergarten, so I know it's gonna take a long time, but we at least have checked off the boxes on how to do the different activities. So that should be good. Lunchtime, we're going to go to lunch. We'll come back and do a movement break. After that, we're going to do ELD. And after that, I'm going to read Are You Ready to Play Outside and introduce what we're doing for reading this week. So for reading this week, we are introducing problem and solution. We've already talked about characters, setting, and all of that. So I already made my chart, so it's ready to go. And I'm going to read Are You Ready to Play Outside? They love Elephant and Piggy books. It's super fun, and I get very animated when I read them. So I think they have a good time with it. And I have a couple of ideas to introduce problem and solution. All right, so there's different ways that we can have a problem in a story, right? So, and we have to figure out different ways that the character might solve their problem. So let's just watch, I'm just gonna show you an example. So here's a chair, right? And do you wanna watch me go from one side of the class to the other? Okay, so here we go. All right, so are you ready? All right, so I'm going to
whoa, we can see that I have a big problem here. My problem is this chair. I have to figure out what to do. There's an obstacle or a challenge causing me a problem. All right, so problems can be obstacles or challenges. Just like Ethan was saying, if we have an obstacle course, we have something blocking our way in the course that we have to figure out how to jump over it. So one way I can solve this problem would be, okay, going from one side of the classroom to the other, I can jump over it. I could also go around it to solve the problem. What's another thing that I could do? I could move it, right? I can move it. So I could approach the problem, move it, and just keep going. So we just found 3 ways for me to solve my problem. My first thing that happened the first time I encountered the problem and I didn't know what to do, I ran into the chair. The second time that I tried, I jumped over it. The third time I ran around it. And then the last time I moved it over. So when we have characters in the story, they're also going to come upon problems that cause them to be upset or frustrated or have to solve this challenge of sorts. So all the books that we're reading today and all the books that we're reading this week are going to be about challenges. Our problem poster, we talked about problems in the story and how a problem is something that goes wrong. So it can happen between 2 characters, it can happen with one person, one character, something can happen in the setting that causes the problem, or it could happen between groups of characters. So I read Are You Ready to Play Outside? And this was so perfect, my kids loved it. And it was actually awesome. One of my kids pointed out that there's several problems that needed to be solved. So the first problem is that they want to play outside and then it starts raining and Piggy doesn't like the rain. They solve it by Gerald protecting Piggy with his ear, his giant elephant ear, and then Piggy is happy. Then they decide that they do like the rain, and then the problem is that it stops raining. So they solve the problem because Gerald sprays Piggy with water through his trunk. So it was really cool. I didn't even think about, there was multiple problems that needed to be solved, but one of my kiddos figured that out. So awesome. We ended our day. Great note, did a really good job. I feel like the crazier I am, the more engaged they are. I recorded the whole part of me jumping over the chair and having to solve my own problem. And they loved that. They love Elephant and Piggy. So I think we just finished on a really good day. We finished on a good note. So that is the end of Monday, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Hi friends, happy Tuesday. So it is Tuesday right now, obviously. Hey there friends, happy Tuesday. So it is again the end of the day, just because the day gets so busy and there's so much stuff to do that I have not been able to show you what I've been doing today. So I will walk you through what we did. We had a pretty good day. Our reading rotations went great this morning. Today is like a special Tuesday because we have art twice a month. So today is our art day and we also have science. So there was a good bit of time where I wasn't seeing my kids, which was cool because I got to get all caught up for the rest of the week. So I'm definitely feeling on top of it. And I actually ended up having a surprise observation today. So I'll share a little bit about that in a little bit after I show you what we did for our day. As always, calendar, days of the week, weather. We jumped into our reading groups. And this is kind of just like generally what my schedule looks like. I have it in a tab open all the time. So up here I can always run back and see what we're doing or what time we have to do it. It is Tuesday, so I had my cherries, met with another teacher, then read on Epic. My pineapples did the seesaw activity from yesterday that the other groups did, and then read on Epic. I met with my kiwis, and then they did Epic, and then my grapes read on Epic, and then they saw me. So for my kiwis, they're reading at about a level B. We did a picture walk and looked at this one about Halloween costumes. We went over the vocabulary words,
and read this book. This was really cute. We previewed the pictures and then they whisper read it out loud to me. So that went well. And then for my grapes, they did this one, which was fall fun. This one was pretty challenging. There was actually a lot of words in this. They're reading at about a level C. But we did have to do a good bit of like looking at the pictures, of course, at first. And then there were some tricky words that we got to. So here is this book, like rake. That was a tricky one, but we got it. So here is this book, and then we did some comprehension questions at the end and talked about which page was our favorite, and then they drew a picture of them doing one of these fall fun activities. I would have done an activity for this one of what they want to be for Halloween this year, but we just didn't have enough time. So yeah, that went really well. Only the second time that they've done that, and that actually did go really well. So I'm happy that we navigated the whole Zoom situation. And then yeah, the pineapples did struggle a little bit with the seesaw activity, so I will need to give them more scaffolding on that by like recording myself explaining it, I think, before I send them off to do it, so they have like, you know, other me to tell them what to do. A short break, they went to science. Science has been going really well the last couple weeks, so if you followed my vlog, the first few vlogs, science was difficult, but I think we figured out a way to make it work. So science was great, went to recess, came back and did art.
Let me tell you, you guys, so for art, the art teacher is not credentialed, so I can't just like leave the Zoom. I need to be there to supervise, so I turn off my camera, I'm on mute. So I feel like they think that I'm gone. And I have awesome kids. I feel like we never have too many behavior issues. My class is always great. But today, seriously, I had to go into the Zoom so many times and be like, hi, I'm still here, I'm listening to you. And I can see that we are not whole body listening or being respectful to our art teacher. So that was interesting. It's like the same as if you leave them with a sub or if you bring them to a special during regular school. It was totally like crazy. They were unmuting themselves, they were shouting, they were like talking at each other, which was cute to listen to, but I could tell that the art teacher was like not happy about it. And she seems like the kind of art teacher where she's like, nope, you need to draw it the way I'm doing it, like just do it the way I'm doing it. She doesn't want them to talk and take up any of her time, which is fair because she does only have like 30 minutes. But it's kind of funny because the second any of them start talking, she just mutes them. So I think I let them talk a lot, but it seems to be working out for us. But it was interesting seeing how they reacted to being with another teacher when they thought I wasn't there. So that was a good lesson for me, and we need to go about talking about, you know, how to act when other teachers are in the room. So it was fun for me to watch, but I definitely did need to give them a bit of a talking to afterwards. So after art, they went to lunch, came back, and we did a movement break like always, and then we jumped into ELD. I have completely changed my mind with ELD. Most of my kids were tested to find out if they are ELs, and I actually only have one EL in my class. All the other ones tested out. So it just seemed like having the ELD time for literally one kid was just not beneficial. And then I thought having like 2 packets was going to be like super differentiated and like I'm going above and beyond giving them the packets. No, it's 10 times easier if they all just have the same packet and we all just do the same thing, and I can do additional help for that one kiddo. So yeah, I decided that since 7 of the kids did not have the packet that everyone else did, I made seesaw activities of the packet. So now they can do the exact activity that we're doing on their seesaw until I can get them the packet. And this was still choppy because again, it was the first time us doing it all together, doing it with some kids on seesaw, some kids in person, but we did it and it worked out. So first we listened to this rap. It's actually Jack Hartman, but it was really good. The kids really liked it. And then we jumped into our activity. So for ELD, we just did this page. I showed them how to quick cut. So we quickly cut out the pictures and then we glued them on. We colored them, quick cut, glued them on. And I read the sentences to them, and this actually worked out pretty well. Again, it was a little bit choppy because some of them were doing it on seesaw and I messed up the seesaw and then some kids had it, whatever. But this turned out really well. Please ignore my poor coloring, but they did a better job than I did. So that is what we did for our short ELD time. Then the main event. So it's actually really funny because because I had a meeting with my induction coach. In California, we do induction. Other people do BITSA. It's basically the 2 years that you're clearing your credential. So you get your credential, you teach for 2 years before you can get tenured, and you clear your credential during those 2 years. So I was actually talking to my induction coach last night about how I needed to have a formal observation because I haven't signed up for one and I need to do that with my principal. And I had been meaning to email my principal all day today, but I didn't get around to it. And also, additionally, I've been so excited about this lesson. I thought about this lesson last week, and then over the weekend, I really figured out exactly what I want to do. And it's kind of 2 parts. So we started it yesterday when we read Are You Ready to Play Outside? Elephant and Piggy. And if you remember, we were doing this chart. So we were talking about problems, and then different problems that the characters have. And then today we read giraffe problems. So I've been really wanting to read this book, and I thought, obviously, giraffe problems, we're talking about problem. This was perfect. So it was so funny because I really planned this lesson. I've been really looking forward to this lesson. My kids love the end of the day lessons where I do read alouds and we kind of talk about the story. So I've been looking forward to the lesson for a long time. And seriously, within 1 minute of the lesson starting, my principal pops in and I'm like, oh my gosh, hey, she's like, I'm here for a surprise observation, just keep doing your thing. My kid said hi to her, and I was so excited because this is not even a lesson that I threw together. I'm so excited. I was so excited to do this lesson, and she was there the whole time, and it went so well, so much better than I could have ever even as if I had planned it, and this was supposed to be the observation that she came to see. So I was thrilled. So I'll show you what she saw and what we did. All right, so just pretend that none of these pictures are there. It's blank. I had taken the screenshots before and had them sitting over here, but the kids couldn't see it. So I knew that I had them ready to drag in when we were about to do that. But to start with, we had reviewed this chart talking about what a problem is, and I had called on different kids to remind me, what would it look like if 2 characters had a problem? What would it look like if 1 person? What was it in the setting if the setting went wrong? So we reviewed problem, and then my principal came, which was perfect. So I asked them if anyone remembered the book that we read yesterday and what happened, and they were talking about how there were several problems. So the first problem was that Piggy didn't like the rain, and then I dragged the picture in, and they're like, whoa, where'd you get that picture? And it was so fun. And then another kid was like, well, and then they danced in the rain, and they had so much fun, but then the problem was it stopped raining. So they had 2 problems. First, they didn't like the rain, then they decided that they did like the rain, and then it stopped raining, and they were upset about that. So I asked a kid, what kind of problem is this? And he was so excited. He was like, the setting, it's a problem in the setting. The setting is where the story takes place. I was like, yes, buddy, yes, the setting is where the story takes place. And this was a problem in the setting because I talked about that so much yesterday. And he said it, and my principal, oh my God, I saw the look on her face. She was like, wow, that is high level. Good job. You knew that. I was like, yes, the setting is where the story takes place, and yes, that is the problem, and yes, this is the problem, and this is the setting problem. So good. Anyways, so then I introduced our giraffe problems, and I had them predict what they thought was going to happen. None of them had read this book, so that was really good. But the giraffe part with pictures that I had already taken, and I dragged them over, and then we compared them. So what is 2 things that were the same? They both had problems, and they both have 2 characters, the kids said. So both of the stories have problems, and both of them have 2 characters. And then we talked about, how is it different? And one kid was like, it's a problem between the characters, and then this one is a problem in the setting. And I was just so excited. I was so happy about him. So yeah, basically, it was really, really good. My principal was stoked. She loves kindergarten. She's so sweet, and I love her. And she loves coming to see kindergarten, and my kids wowed the pants off of her. She was so, so happy. And she stayed for the whole 35 minutes, and my kids were super engaged the whole time. I asked comprehension, check for understanding questions throughout the book, and they nailed it. They asked great questions. They made really good predictions. They talked about if their prediction came true or if it didn't come true. And she sent me the best email, you guys. Oh my gosh. I seriously screenshotted it because I don't ever want to forget it. This was the first time I've been formally observed, and it was a surprise, and I didn't know about it.
and this lesson went so well. So I'm just feeling really good. This is like the best thing that could happen to a first year teacher. And again, I was really, really looking forward to doing this lesson, and the fact that she saw it, and the fact that it went so well, and the fact that she gave me really great feedback was awesome. So feeling good, feeling really happy, ending Tuesday on a great note. And tomorrow is our asynchronous learning day. So I will pick you up tomorrow and let you know what we're doing.
Hey there, friends. Happy Thursday. So it is the end of Thursday, and let me tell you, oh boy, this was a Thursday. Let me just tell you right now, oh my gosh. This morning and today felt so long. We had so many things go wrong today, but I think that's just the life of distance learning. I think that's just how it goes. I've been having such a hard time because, like, let's say Tuesday was awesome. Tuesday was so great. We had awesome rotations. Everything went great. And now today, it was just a hot mess all over the place. And I don't know if it's me, I don't know if it's them, I don't know if it's just they're in kindergarten and it doesn't always work every day, but wow, ooh, what a day today was. So I will just quickly show you everything that we did. I started teaching my math lesson. I know a lot of people had said that they really want me to focus more on math and how I'm teaching math, but it's kind of hard because, like, I am teaching. So I'm going to show you pretty much my exact math lesson, what we did. My cherries met with me, and then they did iReady. My pineapples did iReady, and then they met with me. My kiwis did iReady, and then they did the shared reading. My grapes did the shared reading, and then they did iReady. So for my cherries, we did our alphabet review like always. And then we went over each of these letters, sounded them out slowly, and then they moved them to the places, to the letters that they go to. So that went really well. And then they did iReady. And then my pineapples, I don't know what the heck was going on with the pineapples today, but I feel like my pineapples are just my kids that are not necessarily super low, but they're also not like high. So they're just kind of all over the place, and they're super floaty, and like they're just a bunch. They're a rambunctious bunch. And I was trying to read a book with them, and it was just not happening. Like, I called on one kid, and last week they were really on top of it. They really liked reading the book, and today I have no idea what was going on with them. So that didn't really work out. But we talked about, basically the book that we were reading was talking about different kinds of jack-o'-lanterns that we could carve. So I just had them draw their own jack-o'-lantern, and then we did this sentence: so I can see a pumpkin. I can see a are all sight words that we've done before, and then they sounded out pumpkin, so that's what we got. But yeah, that was interesting. That was seriously like 20 minutes of struggle to get them to even do this, but hey, that's just real life. So I need to figure out some other things that I can do with them aside from reading books, because I don't know. They're technically reading at a level A, but some days it's really hard for them. So I'm gonna need some different ideas of what to do with them. So sight words for today, and then next week I'll have to really brainstorm for that. And then this was the first time we really did math rotations, and it was a hot mess. It was seriously the biggest nightmare and headache of my day. But again, it was the first time of us trying to do it, so that's just how it goes. And I do think it's at the point where I've been trying to do so much stuff of, like, you know, me helping them as much as possible, but it's not efficient for time and for, you know, children's patience for me to have to walk like 2 kids through stuff throughout the day. We are taking our time, but I also just need some help. So I'm gonna need to email their parents and just be like, listen, I need you to help them. I know that you're busy, and I know that you're working from home, but I can't do all of it. So yeah, there's gonna be a couple of crash courses that I need to do next week of like how to get things done quickly, what is expected. So yeah, it's okay. It was our first time doing it, but it is taking quite a bit of time, like 20 or 30 minutes just to simply explain what everyone is doing. And I can't be doing that. Thought about it last night, and I decided to change my mind. So this is how math is gonna go. I'm gonna meet with my broccoli and my eggplants first. I'm meeting with both of them first. Then I'm working on the book with the broccoli, and the eggplants are doing it on their own. And then when they're done, they're either doing iReady or Seesaw. Same as this, they're doing iReady or Seesaw. My tomatoes, math is really a struggle for them. So they're doing iReady or Seesaw, taking a break, and then they're meeting with me. But when they meet with me, it is a seriously abbreviated lesson in comparison to the broccolis and the eggplants. So I will show you what I did with them. All right, my friends, so for today's math lesson, we are going to be talking all about
what happens when we take things away? Raise your hand if you've ever heard of the word subtract. Has anyone ever heard of the word subtract? Okay, so subtract means to take something away. So let's pretend that you had like a big pile of cookies or a big pile of Legos or a big pile of lollipops or candy canes or anything that you love. So think about it. And let's say that you had some and then you took some away. You subtracted. Can we all say subtract? Very nice. Subtract. We're taking some away. So all the time in kindergarten for the last 2 months, we've been talking about adding. We have added numbers together to make a big number. But now we're going to be taking a big number and subtracting, taking it away, and having a smaller number in the end. So what I'm gonna need you to get out are your counting chips, your red and yellow chips. I need you to take out your red and yellow chips and your 10 frame. So let me know, give me a thumbs up when you have your chips and when you have your 10 frame, and we will be subtracting all together. So we were talking about subtraction. I did a little bit of a clip earlier. So we have our counting chips, we have our 10 frame. I can't find the 10 frame that I used, but this one will work even though I wrote on the back of it. And I had them count out loud as they added their chips, red side only. So 1, 2. So we counted them out loud. We pointed and counted for accuracy. We did that several times. Then I talked about what it would look like if we subtracted, if we took one away and changed it to yellow. Then they counted again and they had 9. Then we did it again, take one more away. And we did the whole thing until all of them were gone. All of them were gone. So we figured out what it would look like if we subtracted them and how many we would get. And we kept saying subtract, take it away, subtract, take it away. And then we did this several times with counting backwards, counting forwards, and counting backwards again.
They got out their whiteboards and their whiteboard markers, and I told them a story about Frosty the Snowman. And we drew Frosty, who was 3 snowballs high. And I said, got really, really hot one day, got really hot, and Frosty started to melt. So he subtracted. One of them melted. One of the snowballs melted away. And then they drew me, what would he look like if he only had 2 snowballs? They wrote 2. Cool, okay. Really, really hot day, end of the winter. It's about to be spring. He's completely melting. Take one more away. He's just 1 snowball now, just his little Frosty the Snowman head. So we just subtracted 3, 2, 1. My higher group was subtracting, from 10, subtracting 1, higher numbers. So for them, that really worked. That took quite a bit of time, but that is why we really just need to go through the basics slowly with that group, and that is why they're in that group. So this went really, really well. And then I had them think of some examples. So they were like, like if I baked cookies and then you all wanted a cookie, that was really, really good. So I drew, 6 cookies, gave 1 to each kid, and we subtracted. We kept doing that over and over because I think having a hand motion does the whole brain teaching. The subtract really, really helped them out. So our first time talking about subtraction, but that is just kind of how I introduced it as day 1, and I think it went pretty well. And then finally at the end of the day, we reviewed problem, talked about the 2 books that we've already read, and then I introduced solution. It was awesome. A lot of kids understood the point of a solution. When you have a problem, you need to solve it. So the solution is how the problem is solved. What the character does to fix or solve their problem is the solution. So I read Crazy Hair Day, which was really, really cute. To be honest, by like 1:10, they were kaput, they were out. They were over it for the day, so I would have loved for this lesson to go as well as Tuesdays did, but I think they got the point. Like when there's a problem, we have to solve it. So we talked about how Stanley in the book, it was Crazy Hair Day. He thought it was, but it wasn't actually. It was Picture Day. He tried to solve his problem by hiding in the bathroom all day. And then at the end, when he did come out and took the picture, everyone in his class had also done something crazy on their head. So worked out, quick and easy, talking about solving problems, and then we're done for the day. So that is Thursday. Really, really excited for it to be Friday. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
A gate. The first one said, "Oh my, it's getting late."
So for our fall craft today, every Friday we're doing a fall craft, and today we did 5 little pumpkins. So I played the 5 little pumpkins video. I didn't realize that there was like a Pete the Cat version too. So we watched Pete the Cat, 5 little pumpkins, and then we learned the song and sang it and just listened to the song while we did our little craft. This is from Primary Playground, so I'll link this down below. It's on Teachers Pay Teachers. So yeah, this turned out really, really cute. I love doing crafts with them on Friday. We always have a pretty easy Friday. We have reading groups, then we do science, we have our craft, and then we just have like really easy stuff like music and fun Friday for the rest of the day. So this turned out really cute, and I love taking pictures of all the kids' crafts on Zoom. So this turned out really good. And then they have a few options for Friday free choice. I put this on Seesaw and it directly links to all of the options. After that, we have music for 30 minutes with our music teacher, which is so fun, a great way to end the day. And then finally, they have these choices for the dojo store, so they get to see how many points they have and can redeem them for these prizes at the end of the week.